just feel like the seams are about to burst. What's the catch, you know? I'm literally at a loss for words. And not in a good way. Okay, we have the updated Adapt Seamless, and I definitely think improvements have been made.
It almost looks like those like tracks on the road where your rumble strip, it's a rumble strip for your ass crack.
Like so many gym girlies, my activewear journey started with Gymshark, and now I have yet to buy anything from Gymshark for, I just checked my YouTube channel, it's been at least 2 years, maybe a little bit longer, since I've reviewed any Gymshark on this channel. Honestly, I just felt like they weren't really innovating a lot of their pieces, and none of them were super flattering or enticing to me. Like I've seen them come out with launch after launch for the past couple years, but it just all seems like the same stuff. But let me tell you, they were hyping up this new Lift Seamless collection, which I actually found out is not new. I just feel like they're marketing it more this time because apparently the Lift Seamless came out in like December of 2023 and I had no idea that it even came out. But in my best activewear of 2024 video, I did get quite a few comments from you guys saying that I need to give Gymshark another chance. They've updated their Adapt scrunch. So I saw them coming out with new colors of the Lift Seamless collection, hyping it up, and I was like, you know what? Let's give them a try. So today, for the first time in 2 to maybe 3 years, we're doing a Gymshark review. So like I said, they were definitely heavily advertising in these Lift Seamless leggings, talking about how they're like the best thing to ever put on your glutes, sculpting, shaping, very much like a shapewear style legging. We have tried a bunch of those on the channel recently. People are pretty divided on them. You either love them or you hate them. I honestly feel like too much shapewear can kind of make you forget what you look like in just like a regular piece of clothing. So honestly, I just don't really wear the shaping style leggings very much. Also, a lot of these shaping style leggings have like a compression region under the glutes, and not everyone has the exact same shape or height of glutes. So you either get this strange, like accentuated double butt that I often get in like the Lazuli Sculpt Seamless, or there's not enough room in the glutes to where it's kind of squishing it weirdly. And I feel like I did see quite a few of the pictures of the Gymshark girls wearing these Lift Seamless leggings, and it just like didn't really look like it fit them super well. And again, that is on no reflection of the actual women wearing these leggings. It's just they're squeezing them a little bit weirdly. Anyways, I guess we're just jumping right in, but I did get the Lift Seamless leggings. I got the Lift Seamless sports bra. And then I also got a lot of comments from you guys to give the Adapt Seamless another chance. So I got a pair of those. And then also I got a recommendation for the Gymshark Everyday Seamless. So we'll be talking about those too. But let's start out with the Lift Seamless. So the Lift Seamless leggings, I got the new pink color. I got them in a size small, which is my normal Gymshark size. And these were $60. So Gymshark has definitely stayed in that kind of like mid to high price point for quite a while. Maybe this is more mid price point. It's on the more expensive end of their leggings. The Everyday Seamless that we're trying later is only $38. So these are like, you know, almost 2/3 to double the price. Starting out with the front of these leggings. So they are a classic thick Gymshark marl seamless. And this is kind of one of the reasons why I have strayed away from Gymshark. I find their seamless leggings to not really be great for working out in the gym. So of course, no front seam because these are a seamless legging. They do have a teardrop gusset. I don't love that they chose such a stark contrast for the stitching on the inside. For me, it just gives a little bit cheap sometimes when the stitching color doesn't match the leggings perfectly. We still have the vinyl logo. So many brands have switched to like an embroidered logo. Like Honor Active also does a similar seamless instead of doing the vinyl logo, which I just hate. They now do an embroidered logo, maybe like a tonal silicone. So Gymshark clearly has not changed too much. Again, the fabric is a seamless. It's a 61% nylon, 31% polyester, 8% elastane, and it's a dense, thick, marled, very opaque structured seamless. Here is a close-up of that fabric. It's going to be very opaque and very durable, but the stretch and feel may be questionable. The waistband is actually sewn on to the body of the leggings. And normally when I see a waistband sewn on to the bottom of the leggings, that means you can kind of play with the back seams a little bit instead of just having a flat across seam. But that is what we have here, just a straight flat across seam. Let me show you what I mean by that. So these are the Buffbunny. I think these are the contour seamless. I forget what they're called, but the waistband is also sewn on, but it's sewn on into a V, and the Gymshark is just straight across. And then here's where things get a little crazy. With any lifting or shaping leggings, you're gonna have a lot going on with the glutes in the back here. So there's this denser area of stitching that goes up the back. It doesn't really look like a traditional scrunch. Then we have what I call little booty out pouchings, which again, very common on a shaping seamless legging. Then you have more more of that dense stitching to give you that under glute lift. And this is where it can get tricky. If it doesn't fit you perfectly, it might end up making your glutes look a little bit smaller or giving you kind of a double butt effect. So here are the close-ups of all of those details. So you have a little bit of ribbing that goes down in the little widow's peak. Then you have that kind of scrunch detail. And then that more dense area, it's not actually ribbed, it's just a little bit more dense of fabric below the glutes. The density of the seamless fabric is lighter on the glutes, so it shouldn't squish the glutes down. And it's a little bit thicker on the legs, so you maybe get a little bit of leg compression. And then there's some ribbing down the side of the leg. It definitely feels like they put a lot into these seamless leggings, so let's try them on. Okay, I just wanted to show the process of getting them on, which so far, actually, not too bad. Getting on some leggings that have compression like this, like the Define leggings, as well as the Lazuli Sculpt Seamless and the Buffbunny Contour Seamless. Those literally give me like a rug burn on my fingers from getting them on. So far, this is actually quite easy to get on. Oh no, oh no. I don't think this is looking good. Oh my gosh. Like, what is happening? I'm literally at a loss for words, and not in a good way. Let's start off with the front, because until I turned around, I was like actually kind of excited about these because this fabric is like thick and dense, but feels soft and stretchy at the same time. So I was liking that. The waist is actually fitting quite well. We have a nice high rise. The waistband does have a little compression, but since it's kind of boxy in shape, I'm not feeling super compressed. The front is all fitting very well. We do have a little ribbed area that goes down the side of the leg. Overall compression is about a medium. It is a thicker legging. I do feel a little bit of tightness in the knees, but not too much. And I honestly just need to examine these in a mirror for a minute before I say anything, because I just like, the things I'm seeing on camera are just like not making sense. I like, what is happening? Okay, I think I figured it out. So the scrunch, that's not really a scrunch, is just incredibly shiny. And I'll put a photo of like the Amplify scrunch over there where it's like, there's a little bit of shine, but this is so much wider than a traditional scrunch that it's too obvious, and I feel like I'm just not really a fan of how much it's standing out. It does create some glute separation. You can see there is some glute separation here, but it's not really going up the cheeks in a way that most seamless leggings do. So I'm not getting full glute separation, just a little bit, and you can't really pull it up the glutes anymore. Like, that's as far as it'll go. And every time I try to pull it in more, the lift contour area goes up my cheeks even more. And it's giving me like, I don't know how many butts I have at this point. 1, 2, 3, like triple butt. This is the thing with these compressive leggings. They just are really hit or miss. I feel like they fit maybe 5% of people, and then 95% of people look strange in some way. That is not at any fault of our own bodies. It is the leggings, it's not us. So I can pull these down a little bit to get that contour area below. And I honestly had a similar issue with the Halara booty lifting leggings, and the amount of people who are like, oh, you have to lift your butt up and into the area. I'm like, you clearly just don't understand, because they either work or they don't. I can't like lift my butt into this area. Like, that's just like not how it works. That I feel like really like compresses the thighs in like a nice like shapewear way. I'm not really getting that here. I'm actually not getting a lot of compression, and I'm just getting compression in this one area that's just creating this double butt effect. You're not really getting that smoothing kind of lifting effect that I would want. I don't want to say my hopes were high for these, because my hopes were kind of mid for these, but they are worse than expected. Someone let me know if I'm being crazy. These are pretty atrocious, right? It's actually pretty unfortunate because the front, I'm actually feeling really good. I did get 2 other pairs of seamless leggings, so we'll see how those go. But otherwise, let's do a full length view. I'll put the inseam measurement at the end of the screen there. We have that kind of contrast stitching at the bottom. I'm kind of wishing I got the shorts as well, just to see how those worked. But unfortunately, another fail of a shapewear legging for me, just not really working. And we're gonna do a little sticker squat test. Thank you, Bailey, for the idea. I always feel like I need to credit her for this, but a little sticker here to show how sheer they are. So unfortunately, I just feel like these look too bad for me to wear them to the gym. They don't feel awful, even though I do get a little bit of tightness in that scrunch when squatting. And with all Gymshark leggings, I always feel quite a bit of crotch tension. Like I would never wear these to like a dance class or something where I really need flexibility because their inseam stitching is always very stiff. So that's one of the reasons I'm like not reaching for Gymshark leggings very much. But yeah, I don't need to gym test these to know that I'm uncomfortable in them. The last thing I'll say is I just actually am not getting a lot of compression or lifting. It's just kind of cutting into me in weird ways. So yeah, these may work for you if you don't like a super compressive, but I just feel like they are coming up a little bit high, and I feel like I did see that on quite a few of the models. If I were to wear them much lower, I don't really think we're getting the scrunch effect, and then when I feel like I do adjust them to be high enough, then this area is out of place. So that's the thing that's so hard about these contouring leggings. Can I get your opinion on these first?
They're Gymshark?
None of your business. The leggings.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, they're not bad.
Really?
I mean, like, the butt looks good.
Are you really? You think that looks good?
That's
it?
I mean, here's what I'll say. Your cheeks extend out, but the full structure is not the best. Like, that makes sense. Like they extend out. Okay, here's the thing. The structure of the leggings are still not bad, but in the lighting that I was in where it was darker, I didn't see that line going down. That is very odd.
Yeah.
Squat. Yeah, it almost looks like those like tracks on the road where your rumble strip. It's a rumble strip for your ass crack.
I'm so sorry. One last note. A little bit of bubbling out of the waistband only when I'm in my max squat, but standing, it's okay. All right, you guys liked one of my recent videos where I kind of did almost first impressions style, so we're doing that again. We have the Lift Seamless Sports Bra. This one is $44, and I also got a size small. So we have that same dense marled fabric. Looks like we have a little ribbing in that bottom band to keep that nice and secure. I guess this like little contrast detail. It definitely feels more intentional with the bra than it did with the leggings, just on that little inseam. We do have removable cups. I haven't felt Gymshark cups in a while. Okay, just a traditional triangle. I don't mind a triangle. I feel like they hide pretty well in the cup pads, but I do have a little bit of crinkling, not a huge deal. Not the best cup pads I've seen, but definitely could be worse. We have a little gathered detail in the front there, as well as some little contouring details that go underneath the bust. We do have adjustable elastic straps, and oh, I love this detail. And there's a little ring detail where you can actually bring those straps together in the back. I like this so much more than a traditional like removable strap where you have to crisscross it, because this, if you just want a little extra lift, you just hook it together and you can easily unhook it so it's not too uncomfortable over time. So I definitely like that detail. All the stitching and everything is looking good so far. So let's try this on. Okay, here is the sports bra. It's not bad. It's about a medium coverage, kind of a more, almost a bandeau shape here. This will be good if you have a lot of top fullness. You may get some spillage. Personally, I'm not really spilling out of it, so that's good. The bottom band feels nice and secure. We have the little scrunch detail in the front. I'm not sure I'm loving the contrast stitching, again, because I just don't really feel like it ties into the leggings that much. The support is light to medium. It's more than expected because the straps have that adjustable area in the back. Just a traditional adjustable elastic strap. I did have them connected in the back there. That's personally how I would like to wear them. I just feel like it gives you a little bit more lift, but you can also wear the straps straight up and down. So yeah, I don't mind the sports bra. I don't think I'd personally choose it, but it's fitting me pretty well, and I know I'd be comfortable wearing this to the gym. I'm not gonna be falling out of it. All right, next we are trying the Adapt Safari Seamless. I did get a lot of comments to retry the Adapt, and they did say on the website that they listened and adjusted the scrunch. Okay, so I also got a size small in these, and these are also $60. So that's kind of the higher end of their leggings. Same price as the Lift Seamless. When I think of like a classic Gymshark seamless legging, I think of like the sphincter scrunch that's just kind of like placed in the middle and just doesn't actually do any scrunching and just kind of like looks like a sphincter. So it looks like they finally transitioned into a longer scrunch that should actually like hide between the glutes a little bit and actually do some glute separation, something flattering to the glutes. So I am excited to see that. Here's that scrunch. It's a nice and long now and almost goes all the way to the gusset and starts just like an inch below the top. I'll see if I can find a photo from an old review of what their scrunches used to look like, but they just like honestly did not do it for me. So I didn't even know that the scrunch was updated. The Adapt Seamless, it has a good amount of stretch to it, but again, it's one of those like like thicker, more dense knit seamlesses. So if you are someone who really likes like an ultra stretchy, thin, like Amplify, Honor Active Effortless type seamless, you may not love these. And another thing that I personally don't love about Gymshark leggings, but this is going to be very dependent on your body type, is their waistbands are very boxy, straight up and down. And I do have a smaller waist, so I tend to prefer a slightly tapered waist. I'm not talking super snatching, but just so it doesn't gape. So with their waistbands being so straight up and down, if you do have a slightly more rectangular build, you may prefer a Gymshark style waistband. We have the vinyl logo again. I just think it's very stark against this dark fabric. And with the Adapt, the body of the leggings flows seamlessly into the waistband. It's not sewn on separately like the Lift seamless. I'll just do a little comparison there. We still have that extra ribbing of the waistband, but there's not a seam connecting the two. And with the Lift seamless, you did have that seam. So let's try these on. Okay, we have the updated Adapt seamless, and I definitely think improvements have been made. So these I'm getting almost more of an ultra high rise. It's going a little bit above my natural waist, but it's not super overwhelming. So I think the rise is nice. We have a little compression in that ribbed waistband, flows seamlessly to the base of the leggings. These are seamless leggings, so no front seams, no side seams, very simple. I do think the inner seam on this one matches the color of the legging better, so I do like that. As opposed to the Lift seamless, I just have never been a big fan of the Adapt fabric. It just feels so thick. I always feel so much tightness when I bend my knees, and I always feel way too much tightness in the inseam gusset area. This has always been my thing with Gymshark leggings. I just feel like the seams are about to burst. I've never actually had that happen, but I'm a girl who likes to stretch at the gym. You know, I like to like do my stretches. I don't like to feel that thickness of the seam and that tightness. So that's just a personal thing that I don't love. This fabric is definitely on the thick, dense side, which has its pros and cons. You get really good cellulite coverage. You get really good opacity. Like it's almost guaranteed to be squat proof. They're also super durable if you're really rough on your leggings. Like these are almost like impossible to snag, but I feel like there is a little bit of drawback in the comfort for me. So it's just personal preference. These aren't really something I would really reach for, but I do think the scrunch is so much better than it used to be. We get a little pinto appearance here. How you doing, kid? How are you? Are you tired? You want to say hi? The scrunch in the back of the Lift seamless is probably literally like 5 times wider than the scrunch on the back of this. It does have that teeny little bit of shine, but it's really not too bad. It doesn't give the degree of glute separation that you're gonna get on an Alphalete Amplify and Honor Active Effortless seamless. Because the fabric is so much more dense and not as stretchy, it's never gonna completely disappear between your glutes. But we do still get some contouring there. So solid medium to high on the booty scale. These are definitely flattering. Again, you are getting cellulite coverage with that thick, dense fabric. And we also have that little animal print going on in there. Overall, these are a solid medium compression legging. They're also definitely a warmer legging. Like I just feel like these could get a little bit hot, so I probably wouldn't wear these in the summertime. And then all Gymshark leggings kind of hit me around the same place, kind of ankle length. So these are fitting me much better than they ever have in the past, but the fabric is just a little bit thicker than what I personally reach for most. And lastly, I was told to try the Everyday seamless. I was kind of intrigued to try these because they reminded me of the fabric of the lightweight seamless, which I loved those leggings when they had the lightweight seamless. I don't think they have those anymore, but these are the Everyday seamless leggings, and these are only $38. Gymshark just baffles me sometimes because like most of their leggings are like 50 to 60, and then suddenly they'll just have like a $30 to $40 pair of leggings, and I'm like, what's the catch, you know? But I wanted to try these because not everyone likes a scrunch seamless legging. Personally, I do, because I'm always fighting the unibutt. I want 2 cheeks. I don't want 1 cheek, but not everyone wants something going up their cheeks all the time, which is totally understandable. So the Everyday seamless, they have a little pseudo seam raised in the back to give you a little bit of like, okay, it's not just full diaper butt, but it's not an actual scrunch that goes up your glutes if that's something that's uncomfortable for you. So here's that little pseudo seam. It's not a real stitch. It's just this little slightly raised seam area. I'm liking the material of these so far. It's a lightweight, sleek style seamless. So it's almost like a sleek performance seamless, maybe a teeny bit of shine to it, but feels nice and lightweight and stretchy. Again, waistband very straight up and down. This is looking a little bit wide for a size small. So I got a size small, right? Yes, confirmed I did get a size small. I also really don't miss the tag bouquet of that Gymshark sews in that you have to like cut out. I like a tearaway tag, okay? I like to just rip that tag out and say goodbye. So we have another seamless transition from the body of the leggings to the waistband. And then we have this thick ribbed waistband. No front seam, of course, vinyl logo. info. And then just some tasteful ribbing underneath the glutes here for just a little bit of some glute definition, but nothing like the monkey butt compression that you're getting in the Lift Seamless. So very excited for how stretchy these are. Let's try these on. So I was doing my website research on these, as I always do. I try to like get the little info from the web pages for each item. And Gymshark, they give a lot of like descriptions of their items, some of which are definitely like Gen Z coded and a little bit like hard to read. I'm like, can you just tell me what you mean? Like for these leggings, it literally just says lightweight seamless leggings, great for like running, lightweight activities, and then just don't do any squats in them. If you know, you know. I don't think I know. Are we just saying that they're not squat proof? Or could you not wear these to the gym? Because squat proofness is one thing, but like, I feel like I could wear these to the gym. So I'm not entirely sure what they mean. But anyways, these are the lightweight seamless leggings. And I do kind of have the issue with the waistband that I thought, I just kind of have a little 360 puckering of the waistband out just because they are a very straight up and down waistband. So if you're someone who struggles with waistband gaping, I probably would size down. I really feel like I could size down in these overall. So definitely feel like the waistband just runs a little bit big. But other than that, I'm really liking these. They do remind me a lot of the lightweight seamless that Gymshark used to have. The material is a nice sleek feel. I even feel like these could be a running legging, even though the waistband is a little bit big. They're so lightweight that they'd actually stay up really well. So I'm liking that idea. They are seamless in the front, a little bit of fabric gathering. So again, I think these just run a teeny bit big. Super, super lightweight and stretchy. Loving how these feel. They're hugging the body well, but they're still a light compression. And then in the back, that little glute contour area, I actually feel like these are more flattering on my glutes than the Lift seamless leggings, and they weren't even trying to be. Like that little contour sits perfectly right under the glutes, and it's super subtle. It's not like squishing me in any way. It's just kind of like gently contouring. We do have the pseudo seam. I would have personally loved to see these with a scrunch, but it's nice to have non-scrunch options. You're not going to get a ton of cellulite coverage in these though, because they are a little bit more on the lightweight side, but they are going to be very lightweight and sweat wicking for activities. And then here's the length on me. I will put the length at the end of the screen. And then we will squat test these just because that comment was a little concerning. But thank you to whoever recommended these to me, because for under $40, these are a pretty nice seamless legging. Besides the waist, they're fitting me much better than the Lift seamless. I keep forgetting to do booty scale, but even without a scrunch, these are a solid medium to high on the booty scale. They're not squishing the glutes down. And because these are so hugging, we do still get a little bit of glute separation. So still pretty flattering on the glutes overall. The rise on these is also a nice high rise. It goes right to the small of my waist or right to the belly button. I do apologize if I'm a little bit out of it today, guys. Peach has been to the vet 4 times this week. She's having some like bladder, kidney problems. We still don't really have a solution, but she's getting her final test done and she is doing better, but I may have been crying like all day yesterday because I love her so much, and the thought of her being in pain causes me physical pain. So I got it together to film today, but I just feel like slightly out of it. So I do apologize. Send your best wishes to Miss Peach. That's why she won't be making an appearance in this video today. And to go with the Lift seamless leggings, I did get the Lift seamless sports bra. I just wanted to try a full set, and this also was only $26, which like, okay, Gymshark. I feel like this is what POPFLEX was going for like, you know, their more high-end lines. Gymshark has the Adapt, the Lift for like a $60 legging, and then they have like a $25 sports bra, but overall the quality still seems to be there. Like this still feels like a Gymshark piece, but it's just at a little bit more of an affordable range because it's just a little bit more basic, I guess. But we have that sleek seamless material that the leggings are made out of. You also have that little ribbed detail, adding a little bit of contour to the bust. Here's an up close of that little ribbed detail, very subtle. We have a V neckline, little ribbed bra band as well, tank straps, and a cute little scoop in the back. The cup pads look different on these. Okay, we have a big triangle cup pad. So this one definitely is going to be a little bit more large cup size friendly, which I appreciate. But again, definitely a little bit of crinkling in these cup pads, but shouldn't be a huge issue. Okay, here's the sports bra, and honestly loving it for a larger cup size. This is what we want out of large cup size friendly bras. Just a little bit more coverage, but not like matronly, you know? So definitely large cup size friendly. We have a nice little secure band at the bottom here, little contour details. Again, logo's a little bit in your face for me, but I do like the shape of the sports bra overall. We have a little V-neck. The straps do go kind of wide, but they don't feel like they're going to fall off. So like, they kind of shimmy a little bit. It's staying put. Coverage, I would say medium to full. There's a little peep of cleavage, so we're like almost at full coverage, and the support is like medium support. The cup pads I feel like are doing a good job and like everything's just nice and like compressed. True to size, if you're in between, you could really go either way. And then the back is very scooping and wide. It makes me a little bit nervous about the straps, but they're tight enough where I don't feel like they're falling off. So I do like the elegance of this like nice open back here. I do feel like it comes up a little bit high on the lats. I prefer a sports bra that comes down a little bit because even after wearing this for like a few seconds, I am just feeling a little bit irritated in the lats there. So keep that in mind if you have very developed lats, it might cut in a little bit. But for a $25 bra, this is nice. I like the fabric. It's simple, supportive, not gonna fall out of it. So Okay guys, that's it for the video. My first time back trying Gymshark in over 2 years. Unfortunately, the lift seamless, they're just really not for me. I am super picky with compression style leggings and honestly just find that most of them don't work for most people. But I really think this like 2.5 inch wide shiny scrunch just isn't really doing it for anybody. So personally, those are a pass. Super happy to see Bunny? Pinto? Guys, I think Pinto's bringing us a spring. Pinto? Oh, thank you, kid. Thank you. Would you like to play? Loving the improvements to the Adapt Seamless, even though those leggings just still aren't really for me. I just feel like they need a little bit more stretch. And very pleasantly surprised with the Everyday Seamless line. It's a more affordable line, but I actually liked it more than the more expensive lines. Although I will say the reason why they said not to squat in those leggings, they do sheer out quite a large amount. So honestly, a lot of seamless leggings can be kind of sheer. So I don't fault them too much, but just be aware, they did warn us. So let me know what you guys thought of this video. Are you guys still Gymshark shoppers? Have you been kind of sitting out Gymshark for a while like me? Any other brands you'd like me to review, leave me a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.